everybody. Welcome to Studio 7. I'm Mercedes Wilson.
And I'm Autumn Lewandowski, getting ready for just another fun day. Right?
Yes, we are. And we have to pull in our friend Matt Bove, the awesome Matt Bove, because it's Family Friday. Hey, Matt.
Hello,
Hi.
guys. What's going on? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How you doing?
I'm good. I see Danielle says, thank God it's Friday. I don't know if you're
Yes,
gosh, I don't know.
TGIF.
TGIF.
Say
TGIF.
Friday.
It sounds
Or
so
Friday
nice.
pay. Today's payday.
Oh, I like that. I like that even better. I like that even better.
It's a weird, I kind of love, Fridays are always great, but Fridays are especially great when the Bills play on Monday for me, because that means I
Yes.
actually have a weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to be at home and just hanging out. And then the Bills start the week with a game, but that's fun because then that doesn't kind of mess around with the weekend. So that's always perfect.
Yes, it is. It is. It is.
Yeah, and they played like a long time, like not even Sunday. So they had a longer week off, right?
Seems like it's been forever.
Yeah. It has. It's been a week. They played on Thursday night in Miami.
Thursday night, right.
Thursday night last week in Miami. This morning I'm at the grocery store and people are coming up to me and they're like, it feels like it's been forever since the Bills have played. And I was like, yeah, it really does feel that way. It's good that they get extra rest, more time to prepare for the game.
Yeah.
More time for us to prepare, which is always fun too. But yeah, it has. It's been like a week and a day. That feels like, come on, let's get on the field, guys.
Yeah, I know, like forever.
Yeah. And I don't mean to stay on the Bills train here, but last year there was a lot of primetime games. This year, the Thursday and now Monday. And what I was hearing from friends and family was that they missed their Sunday games. They want to do like the tailgating and be together. And I think the weekday stuff kind of throws everybody off. They got to take off of work or, that type of thing. So I wonder what people feel about that.
Yeah, Matt, what do you hear?
Well, I think people miss. It's always you want what you can't have, right? When the Bills were bad, they played every single week on Sunday at 1:00. It was just what they did. And then they got good. And then they started playing in these primetime games again. And then people were like, man, I really miss those Sunday 1:00 games. I see Danielle just says that she loves the 1:00 Sunday games. A lot of people feel the same way because you go, you get situated, you tailgate in the morning, you go to the game. You can still, it's a long day. But then you can get home by 7:00. You go, you have dinner, and then you go to bed and you get ready for the week. When they're playing at 8:00, it's not like, it's just you're staying up late, then you're waking up early the next day. And also, if they're playing a night game, it'll ruin your mood for the next day, whether it's a Friday or if it's a Sunday night, then it will ruin the start of the week for Monday. So, yeah, I prefer Sunday 1:00 games because they're the most convenient to cover. But there is something really cool about like them being on the primetime stage. It always feels bigger when it's under the lights.
Sure does.
Yeah. Okay, Matt, Lori has a question for you, though. What do you think about the Saints scoring 95 points in 2 games?
So, great question, Lori. I love sports questions. I think that the Saints are exceeding expectations, but I feel like it's a little bit circumstantial. I think that they've played some teams that don't have great defenses that have really allowed them to take advantage of that. So, I think the Saints are good, but I don't think they're great. I think they're a little bit of ways away. And, the one thing about that, though, is the Super Bowl's in New Orleans this year. So, maybe if they are really good, they could be playing a home game in the Super Bowl against the Bills, obviously.
And then speaking of these games being on Mondays, let's go back to family a little bit. Those of us that have kids, that's tough too, because we're up late and we have to get the kids up for school the next day. I see Autumn's face.
Well, it doesn't really pertain to me working night side. Natalia's on her schedule. She'll go to sleep when she goes to sleep. I'll be working. So it's no different for me.
It's
just a weeknight.
Week
work night for me.
Well, and we all know you're working, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. So, it's as weird as this sounds. This is what my wife and I are navigating right now, and it's really hard. And this is a conversation that we've had, not actually, doing a podcast, but football season is easier for me to try and juggle everything because when they're in football season, when the Bills are going on, I'll usually have a day or two off during the week because I know I'm working weekends. On Saturdays, I'm usually traveling, and then on Sundays, I'm working. So then my days during the week off are Tuesday, Friday, which is 2 extra days that I don't have to worry about childcare. But when it's not football season, then we're trying to figure out what we do Monday through Friday. Our daughter's 18 months old. We are both Western New Yorkers. We're very fortunate that her mom and dad and my mom watch the baby as much as they can, but it's a struggle. And then you try and figure out like what's too much to ask. We know they both love watching our daughter, but there's such thing as
Yeah.
too much of that. Like it's a really complicated thing we're trying to figure out right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's complicated. And how is childcare for you? What is childcare like for you?
Well, it was very interesting as Natalia when I came actually, so I'll kind of give you the timeline. I came back to work Labor Day. I came back to work on Labor Day
Uh-huh.
when I was on maternity leave. And then from Labor Day through almost March, so I was back to work consistently for 6 months, and then the world shut down
Yeah.
with COVID. So then I was back home and I was trying to work from home, having, a 9-month-old, and that lasted for a year and a half or
Uh-huh.
something
Uh-huh.
like that. And then I was on nights. So then I was with her during the day. So there was only a short time frame that we actually had to have someone take care of her. And then it was back to just me doing it during the day and then my husband at night. So it always works out. It's not conventional, but it worked for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah. Now we're fortunate enough to have two older kids. We have a 21-year-old and then we have an 18-year-old. Now the 18-year-old lives on off-campus housing, so she can't be there as much, but the 21-year-old helps as much as he can. And then
Mhm.
we do the after-school care, which the girls are super excited
Right.
about because they're with the YMCA.
So they're lots of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and
They're
so
funner than the parents.
absolutely, absolutely. So every day at 6, they're done, and then we're home dinner. So I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that right now. But careers and
It's
things
a
are
lot.
hectic. But
There's a lot of juggling. And
yeah,
when you're not from an area, like we're all from here. So we have great support systems. My parents help, my in-laws help. I mean, we have my 3 sisters, my sister-in-laws. So there are people that can help juggle things. But Matt, when Ellie goes to preschool or even like half a daycare or something, preschool is like 9 to 11:30, and you're working and your wife is working, and who picks her up, who takes her,
yeah,
who has her for the
yeah,
other several hours. Like it's a stressful thought for sure.
yeah,
Yeah. And the moral compass thing too also plays a factor because sports happen when other people are off. That's how people are able to watch
yeah.
sports and
That's
see
true.
sports. So much of my job is being spent during nights, during weekends, and I'm
Yeah,
not complaining. This is what you sign up for. I am getting
yeah, yeah,
paid to go to sports events. That's pretty
yeah.
amazing. But that also means that I'm away from the time that usually my wife and daughter are available and free. So right now, it's fine and we manage and it's really, really working. But I would imagine as she gets older and maybe she wants to play soccer or she wants to take dance
Mm-hmm.
classes or whatever she wants to do, then it's going to become even more complicated of trying to fit it all into like this 24-hour day when it just feels like there's not enough time. And I mean, Danielle just said daycare is expensive. We have been so incredibly
Very.
fortunate that we have not had to pay for daycare because both of our sides have really kind of helped us out. But oh my goodness, the stories that you hear about how expensive
Yeah.
daycare is, like for some people, it is legitimately cheaper to quit their job than it is to send their
Yep.
kid to daycare every single day.
Yep. Summer camp, we spent over 4 grand.
A lot of
Summer
money.
camp, we spent over 4 grand. So I have a question for you two. Would either of you let someone outside of your families help with the kids? Or is it nope, it's family or no one?
Well, I had someone that wasn't family take care of Natalia for the 6 months that we were away,
Hmm.
or while we were working. But it was a close family friend of family of
Yeah,
mine.
yeah.
So in a way, we still knew them, and it was still daycare in a way. And it was, I mean, it's astronomically expensive.
It is.
So,
It
but
is.
I trusted who we gave Natalia
Yeah.
to for that time frame.
Yeah. What about you,
Look at this
Matt?
comment from Lori. Daycare was $55 a week in the 1980s.
Oh
I think
gosh. I'll take
conservatively
it.
right now, conservatively,
That's a
it's probably
day.
$75 a day right now if you want to send
Yeah.
your kid to daycare. So for us, I would absolutely let somebody who's not family watch our daughter. I
Yeah.
think that there is a lot of value in her meeting friends and
Yep.
getting just like thrown into something that she's not used to. And I think that that's really important as she gets a little bit older. And I want her to do that. but there's also a price that comes with that. And it's like,
Yep,
or do we
there
really
is.
want to spend $150 a week for 2 days of daycare? Or do we want to save that money and have her go to our parents? Because they'll also really do a good job. And we know we can trust them with our lives and her life. So yeah, I mean, it's a really
Yeah.
big, weird, delicate balance that I do not know the answer to. We're going to try and kind of, my wife and I had the conversation. We will reassess when football season ends. And that is kind of going to be what
Yeah.
we plan. And, you know, of course, we're going to have this conversation and the Bills are going to be really good. And then the football season is going to last like 3 weeks longer than it normally does. They'll go to the Super Bowl and then we'll never catch our breath.
Well, the funny thing is my dad helps with the girls. And every time I come home, he's sleeping. Every time I come home, he's sleeping. So I get a picture of him every time. Literally, when we leave, the girls go grab a pillow and a blanket and they put grandpa to sleep, and then they turn on their shows and they're making snacks and they're doing everything. So they babysit grandpa. It's
How-
hilarious. I'm like, it's hilarious.
You
Sounds
just
about
said,
right.
so they take a picture. Do they have phones?
No, I take a
Are they-
picture whenever I walk in.
Oh, you take a picture.
Yes, I take a picture. Yes, they do
Do they-
not have phones.
What is the age?
That's
What is
another
the
topic.
What is the age for phones? Somebody help me here because I don't know the
Okay,
answer to this
so
either.
when Isaiah and Gabby were young, they got them at like 9 or 10.
Mhm.
There was not as much to get into.
Right.
The
Uh-huh.
twins are not getting them till they move out because there's
Okay.
just so much to get into. They are begging for phones, and our answer is no. It's just absolutely not. I'm not ready for them to get phones because there's just so much more for them to get into right now.
Right. I understand the concept of being able to get a hold of them, and that you can kind of track them
Yeah,
in
yeah.
case anything were to happen.
Yeah.
But the social media aspect, I would really love to not be subjected to
Yeah.
for a very long time.
Yeah.
As
And
we're
I'll
doing
be
a
honest.
show on social media.
Yeah.
I just don't
As
trust
we're
Well,
my
we're
doing the show
grown
on social
adults.
media.
I don't
We're
I don't
adults,
trust
yes.
my twins.
Yeah.
One of my twins would listen. The other, absolutely not. She'd be on everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen. She would not listen. She would have them. She would learn how to hide them.
Yeah.
I'd never find them. So we just said no.
I
We just
wasn't
said no.
supposed to have. I don't remember if it was MySpace or Facebook. My parents were pretty adamant that they did not want me on either one of those. I think until I was either really late in high school or even early on in college. I mean, I had a really hard time with like balancing and kind of figuring out my day. You know, you get to college, you have all this freedom. There's social media. You go into a lecture hall, there's hundreds of people, and you can just sit on your laptop. You can pay no attention. And I've really struggled my first semester of college because of all of those distractions that were not present when I was in high school. And then I kind of just deleted everything. And then I didn't have to worry about it for a little bit. But yeah, no, the phones are another thing of I don't know when the right age to get them is. But now, you know, my wife works in schools. And like they cause problems. And I know that there is a point of them being able to communicate to you if they need something or if something's going wrong. But it feels like they might do more harm than good, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's just where I am now. Who knows if a year from now, a year or two from now, it changes.
Right.
But right now, it's a hard no. It's
Yeah.
that one twin. I'm telling you, she
They
would
ruin
do
it
it
for everybody.
She would do it. She ruins it
Yeah.
for the whole group. The whole group. So then, are you hands-on parents, or are you a little more hands-off?
Well, I guess
will
I
you
don't
be?
know what hands-on parenting is.
Or will you be? Can you foresee yourself being? Because your kids are
Like
young.
a
Still.
helicopter mom. Like I think.
Are you a
myse-
helicopter mom now?
Myself and my husband probably are. He even more so. So I can kind of relax when he is when we're we're a team and we're both together.
Yeah.
Like I know that there's some eyes on her at all times.
Yeah. Are you a helicopter dad, Matt?
Not yet. I think I don't want to be. I'm not
Yeah.
like thriving to be that, but I think that it's a balance. I want to be involved and I want to set an
Yeah, yeah.
example and I want her to know that like, you know, she's got to listen to her parents, but I don't want to overstep because I feel like it's her job to go out and make mistakes and learn on the fly and not have us always to fall back on. So I do think that it's a balance, but I don't think I am yet. I mean, she's a year and a half, so maybe I am and I just don't realize it, but that's probably something that I won't even have to think about. I hope for at least a couple of years. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
With my son, I was
Firstborn.
firstborn. With
Yeah.
our daughter, it got a little looser. And with the twins, nope. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watch her I let her be independent.
Yeah.
But I'm always there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll just give a quick example. We went on vacation and we went on a snorkeling ship, and she asked me right away, I want to jump off the ship. I said, there's no one jumping off the ship, Natalia. We can't jump off the ship. I'm like, if you want to jump off the ship, you go ask the captain.
Mhm.
And of course, the captain did exact opposite of what I wanted him to do and was like, yeah, go ahead. It's just a little slippery right here. I'm like, this is the Caribbean. She's just going to jump into the Caribbean. I'm
Mhm.
like, thanks for your help and your support, sir. Now I have to
Yeah.
have her jump off the side of the ship. And she did. And then she went to the bow of the ship, and it was 12 feet to the ocean. And
Wow.
she jumped
Good for
in.
her.
Like, I was
Good for
right
her.
with her that
Wow.
first time, and she jumped in. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm done kind of helping you up there because you don't need my help.
Yeah.
You don't care that I'm there. Just go ahead, jump right in. So that's what she
That's
did.
a
And then
big
she ended
jump.
up on a
That's a
rope
big-
swing.
It is.
That's a
It
big
is.
jump for a 5-year-old. She's fearless.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Rope swing right into the water. I was like, okay, yeah, here we go. So
Yeah.
she is independent. I have to obviously let her be that. And I like that. I wouldn't want her to be timid or afraid and not outgoing. Like, I want her to be what she is. And then you just kind of redirect every once in a while when things kind of get off the path.
Yeah. I think it's important, or it was important for us to allow our kids to make the decisions and kind of fall. But that's one of the toughest things as parents, is to see your kids fall
Yeah.
and not be able to do it for them. But I feel like they needed to, or I felt like they needed to experience that, so then they can make decisions and know how to make them, instead of coming to me saying, Mom, what do you think? And it was like, well, what do you think? And then when they learn, then they come back and we say, okay, so what went right? What went wrong?
Right.
To see what they learned in it. And now they are super independent, except with my money.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't fail, then how do you know what it takes to succeed in a lot of things with these kids and with anybody, really? It's like, if you don't know how to overcome a bit of adversity, I'm not talking about something that's crippling or that's going to change the course of your life, but if you're faced with a little adversity, I kind of want to see how you're going to figure it out. And I think that that's going to be probably my approach a little bit to parenting. Now, I say that now, but if she turns and looks at me and her big eyes are staring into my soul, I might just crumble and do whatever she asks me to do. I think I talk a big game, though, because I have the luxury. I have the luxury of her being a little girl right now, and not like somebody who is making her own decisions every single day. Right now, her biggest decision is, does she want peas or does she want broccoli when I give her dinner?
Right. And what about staying at home alone? I know your daughter's 5 and your daughter's really young, but 18 months? Is she 18 months, you said?
18 months, yeah. She's a year and a half. Year and a half.
Have you guys had those conversations yet? No, not at all?
No, not yet.
Do you want to?
I have a great home alone
We've got
story,
a long
by the
time.
Way. Okay, tell it. Do tell. You have great stories.
So when I was going into middle school, that was the first time my parents felt comfortable keeping me home alone. So it was myself and it was my younger sister, who's 4 years younger than me. And I would have to get home. I would have to then stay around, get her off of the bus for the elementary school, lock the doors, and just kind of hang out until my parents got home, whether it was my mom or my dad first or whatever. So the first day of 6th grade, I did not know this. My mom parked her car a street over and went upstairs without me knowing to see if I did everything the exact way she asked, and then came downstairs and scared the living crap out of me after I had gotten my sister off the bus. And she was like, "You did so good." And I'm like, "You were upstairs?" And she's like, "I needed to know if you were going to do exactly what I did." So she parked the car a street over. She hung out upstairs. She watched me come into the house, did not do anything stupid. And then she watched me get my sister off the bus an hour later. And then she was like, "Congrats, you passed." So I think once I passed, then there was a little bit more leeway and there was a little bit more comfort from them to be like, okay, you guys can kind of hold the fort down for at least a couple hours if need
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. I feel like kids today, and when our kids get a little older, they'll have so much more to get into. Like it was different when we were growing up.
Yeah.
No?
The internet. Yeah, the internet. I mean, the internet changes everything. Like that wasn't something that anybody was worrying about with me.
Yeah.
It was I got home and I probably like made some Tostitos pizza pockets and turned on Sports Center. So like that's what I was doing. It's not like anything
That
crazy
was a
was
big
happening.
deal for us.
Oh, that was the
Yeah.
best. I would do
TV,
anything
and
to
that
go
was
back
it.
to that.
Do you remember how old you were when you
Um,
were home alone?
I was probably 12. I
Mhm.
had 3 younger sisters, so we had I had a lot of responsibility there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Wow. I think I was maybe 14, and I was like the middle in the middle, but I was like 14 and we had a lot of chores. It was just like come home, do your chores, do your homework, and just I mean, but there wasn't a ton to get into. I mean, we still had the
No.
home phones. There was not much we could do. And
Right.
we used to fight over get off the phone, the actual landline
Yeah.
phones. So there was not much
Mhm.
that we could get into.
When Matt was saying, when I went to college and I had so much more that in social media that we had to try to balance and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was in college, we had phone cards to
Oh
call because I
gosh.
went to Brockport.
Mhm.
So you would load your phone card, Matt, so you could call home and talk to whoever because you didn't have long distance
Wait, so you had to like
and aim.
what? So like you
Matt's
had
face.
to
Matt's face.
what is a
You
phone
had-
card? Like
Yeah, so you had a phone in your dorm
Did
room.
Matt say what is a phone card?
yeah, I don't know what that
Maybe.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I don't know what a phone
it
card
was
is.
it was a calling card. You got minutes
Kind of like a gift
on-
card. It looks like a gift card.
Yeah. And you would
But how
just type
did you
in
like
your
swipe
numbers.
it? Oh, okay. So
No,
you
you
type in
typed
the
in-
numbers on the phone.
There was
Like,
no
what?
swipe. There's no tap, nothing like
Yeah, I was
none
like,
of that
what?
existed yet. But yeah, so you would pick up your phone in your dorm room, you would put in your numbers, and then you would call home. And that's how you would talk to everybody at home.
I think that my like growing up and kind of my age, I think very much mirrored a lot of the big changes in technology and the internet and social media because as I was getting into high school, the internet was becoming more and more prevalent. Like it was still obviously around when I was a little kid,
Mhm.
but everybody had access to it. And then it was starting to become okay, you can get on the internet on phones, and then smartphones started to exist, and then the iPhone started to come out. And that was all
Yeah.
kind of happening right as I was getting ready towards graduating high school, getting into college, and then it just took off. Like I was right in the absolute golden age of MySpace, Facebook, the early years of Twitter, the early years of Instagram, like all of that was happening right when I was at that age. So to me, it became like very second nature on how you try and manage all of it and do all of them at the same time and be on all these different
Yeah.
platforms. But it became super distracting. And it is still super distracting. Like
Yeah,
it's honestly,
It's
it is.
I spend
totally
way-
distracting.
I spend way too much time on social media and on Instagram, just going through the videos. And I don't have a TikTok or anything because I know that if I did, I would spend even more time on it.
Yeah.
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 Connie's saying hello all. So,
Hello, Connie.
Hi, Connie.
Hello.
Hi,
Mhm.
Connie. She said she almost forgot about this today. Well, don't worry because we're going to do it literally every single day. So if you miss a
Yes.
day, we'll be around.
Yeah.
And starting Monday at 4:30, you can watch us on television as well as social media. But the fun part
Mhm.
about watching us on socials is during the breaks, you get the fun stuff, right? We get to have some
Right.
fun in between.
Yeah. And we get to interact with you a little bit more
Yeah.
too.
So that'll
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Autumn, to continue that conversation, are you on socials a lot? Like what Matt
I
described?
mean, work has I have to do it with work,
Yeah.
right? I like certain aspects of it so I can see family from across the United States of
Mhm.
what their families are up to, or even people from high school and how they're doing and what they're up to and that type of thing. But I make it much more of a point now that when I get up, well, first I'm taking care of Natalia and getting her to school.
Mhm.
But after that, I make sure that I don't look at my phone. I want to wake up. I want to see the sun or the clouds or the rain or whatever it is. I mean, I might sound hippie-ish in that, but I just like I want to take in just being a part of the earth first
Yeah,
before
yeah,
I
yeah.
go to any TV, internet, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm
So-
guilty. I'm on the
I can't. You
I
lay
am
there. I mean, I
guilty.
have done it, believe me. But if you're laying that, like you wake up, you're laying there, and then you're scrolling and you're scrolling, and then you're looking at dogs being pandas.
Yo,
Oh,
some of the
That's a
some of the
good
some of the
laugh.
some of the
That's a
videos
good
that I
laugh.
watch, oh my god, like some of the videos will be
so
like
where do you go?
how to stay in a boat. Like I don't own a boat. Like what do I'm watching this video for? And then I find myself 4 minutes into it, or like how to live in the
Yeah.
wilderness for 24 hours. And it's like if I had to live in the wilderness for 2 hours, I probably wouldn't make it. So what am I trying to
I
figure
wouldn't
out how
either.
to live for 24 hours? So like all of these random videos, and I'm so guilty of it. I wake up and the first thing I
Me too.
do, and part of it's the job, is like I check social media to see if I missed any
Yep.
big Bills or Sabres news, but then I end up watching those dogs becoming panda
Yeah.
videos or whatever Autumn
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
I'm the first one up in my house. I am the first one up. So like I have my time. So I have my time
Yeah.
and then I'm laughing. Like I'm waking people up because I'm laughing. So it's
What
just
time
one
do
of
you wake
those
up?
my time.
What time do you wake
I
up?
am up between 5 and 5:30 every morning.
Ooh, that's
Oof.
early. That's really early. That's really early.
5 and 5:30. Autumn. Lori says autumn. Welcome autumn this weekend.
Yes, Sunday. I'll be saying that. It'll be my
Oh, is that when it
season.
starts?
Autumn in
Is that when
autumn.
it starts?
Sunday morning. Yep.
I am such a fall person. Fall is the
Me
best
too.
season. I don't even
I
think
agree.
it's close. I am so
Okay.
in on fall. Oh,
I
I'm so
love
in on fall.
fall.
Yeah.
Now, earlier in the comments, I also saw someone asking about what the weather was going to be like.
Yes.
So this
Mhm.
last week of summer, it's legitimately been summer. It's 80 degrees.
Yes.
It's 10 degrees above average. It's dry. It's been dry for like pretty much 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Now, next week, it's the fall that we kind of don't like. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of seasonable, kind of cool, still dealing with like random showers almost every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing's like really clear. So that first week of fall isn't going to be the best looking, but it's definitely going to feel more like it.
Is it chili season? Like you can make a good pot of chili?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fall.
You can
Low
make
70s,
you can make us a good pot
low
of chili.
60s.
You can make us something good
I
and
am
bring it
down.
to us.
That's
One less
fall to
meal
me.
that I have to try and figure out.
I know. No, listen, we've been very blessed between my parents and Dominic's parents. They had always had dinner ready. 5 o'clock, you're sitting at the table and you're eating dinner.
Mhm.
Well, then I became an adult and I'm like, well, I got to do it. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So more often than not, my mother-in-law makes a dinner for my husband and my daughter, and then
Yeah.
she'll pack it up and I'll eat it when I get home. It's been a blessing, but then it also is a crutch.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so we're not really great at it. I gotta
Connie,
Oh,
learn
happy
something from you.
9 months
Yeah,
old
happy-
on Sunday. That's
yeah,
awesome.
Aw,
Connie's
how
grandson will
sweet.
be 9
Three-quarter
months.
birthday. Three-quarter birthday.
Yeah.
I love that time frame, those big chunky thighs and cheeks, and
Yes.
I miss
Aw.
it.
Well, we hope you all have a good weekend. Have a great
Yeah.
weekend. Monday, we are on both television and social media. So you get a
Yep.
double dose, right?
Yeah, so we have fall beginning a little after 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, and it's actually still going to feel like summer there. It's going to be about 80 degrees on Sunday. But after that, there's some showers and we'll be about 70 degrees from there on out. So pack the poncho. You might end up needing it for the Bills game on
I was going to
Monday.
say, Autumn, is it
Oh.
going to rain Monday night? Is it looking like it's going to rain?
I got to look. I haven't been able to look at anything for today just yet with the new models that
Uh-huh.
have come out, but there's, it's off and on. So
Yeah.
game time, will it still be around? I think we're probably going to deal with it during our tailgating and all that jazz. So
Hey,
It's always
hey, before we go, Connie says he's not chunky. I love that.
well, give them another 6 months.
Yeah.
So cute. So cute. I love it. Thank you all for your comments. We love it. We will see you on Monday.
See you then. I was like